Hey kids, it's me, Batman, and I'm here with Katie on Cup of Rad. This week, episode 66. What are we talking about?
Today is all about the birds of prey and the emancipation of the fantabulous one, Harley Quinn.
That's right, on Cup of Rad. I'm drinking tea. On today's episode of Cup of Rad, I'm Batman, and welcome to our episode.
And I'm amused.
I'm just gonna sit over here and sip away.
Right now, all I can think of right now is Space Ghost Coast to Coast. That's all I can think of right now. It's like just the weird random interviews of things, and I'm just gonna sit here and okay. We're gonna get into this now.
I am the night. I am vengeance. I am Batman.
So Batman has joined us today as a reminder that he should have appeared in the movie we saw today.
Not once was I mentioned. I was in the cave playing Sudoku, training my mind.
Things were blowing up. Things were going down, and Batman was like, shit, they'll figure it out.
I had a visit from a cat burglar. Selena kept me busy.
Oh, it's Selena's fault. I see how it is. I got you. She let that. Okay.
I always follow the trail, because I'm a serious Batman.
So, thanks for joining us, Batman.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get Mike back.
Never. Because I am Batman.
So, today, we went and saw Birds of Prey. So this movie...
And the Fantabulous.
I'm going to say Fantabulous because I like that word even better than fabulous. But
okay.
Is it Fantabulous?
I think it's a Fantabulous.
I think it is. See? Yeah. It's even better. I think it should have just been called that, the Fantabulous Emancipation of... Why didn't we look this up? The name is too long. This is Harley Quinn's movie. And they
should have just named it that. This is Harley Quinn's movie.
Yeah. It should have just been called that. And dropped the Birds of Prey thing, honestly. I think it would have made more sense. But
if they had added and introducing the Birds of Prey.
Mm-hmm. With a side note of so yeah, we went and saw this today. And since day one of trailers, I've been apprehensive about this movie. One might even say rage-fueled about this movie. Yes,
we would have had to change the name to Cup of Rage.
It was Cup of Rage. Every single time I'm like, what the?
Not safe for work.
So I really got behind Suicide Squad, and I really accepted Harley Quinn and the different world, and I liked the Joker from it and saw it in its own little bubble of things. And so I was excited to see Harley Quinn again.
Margot Robbie does a great job.
She did a fantabulous job.
Reminds me exactly like Harley Quinn on the streets.
Oh, Batman apparently did not leave.
And in the sheets.
Oh, goodness gracious. And Adam thought I was going to make this not safe for work.
From the point of rage.
No, yeah, okay.
Not from innuendos.
So, yeah, that's Batman's job. Almost got tea spit all over me. That was impressive. Don't even say it. I don't know, whatever you're going to say, just don't say it. So, this movie, I was very upset about the Birds of Prey. And as I talked about in last episode, because of my enjoyment of the graphic novels, the comics of Birds of Prey. And I really was intent on not seeing this movie. And until recently, then some of the reviews and first reactions came out, and I said, you know what? Let's let go of some of the rage and at least leave an open mind and go in, because I like the bright colors. I mean, I am a sucker for hot pink and shiny things.
And glitter.
And glitter bombs and things. And so I'm like, okay, I really want to like this movie. So I will at least go in and make an opinion on it, right? And I'm really happy that we did go. I think I would have regretted not going. And first reaction, it was bombastic and full of glitter and sparkly things. It was fun and action-packed. I still 100% agree with my original intent that this Birds of Prey does not belong in the title. And I don't dislike the use of their characters overall, but it was a Harley Quinn movie. It's unfair to have it Birds of Prey and then a side note subtitle of Harley Quinn. So that is really, the same feeling that I had to begin with is still there. But I did enjoy it overall. So Batman, what are your thoughts other than the fact that you should have starred in it?
I should have been in every moment of that movie.
All of it.
I enjoyed the movie for what it was, and I had a lot of fun with it.
As you watched from the sidelines.
As I watched from the sidelines, I sat back with my tea and some popcorn.
Tea and popcorn sounds horrible, by the way, especially cold 911 tea.
No, as a movie, I have a cold,
which is why he's playing up the Batman voice.
But really, it was a fun movie. It was ridiculous. It pretty much had the same tone as Suicide Squad. So if you enjoyed Squad, you're going to enjoy this here. But it wasn't as flitty in what it wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
It knew exactly what it was. It's probably one of the more comic booky movies we've seen in a while.
Yeah, it was more cohesive.
Because it had the narration, because there's your little thought bubbles. And it had quite a few other with the drawings and things like that popping up in it as well, along with the action. And it was funny. I laughed. Yeah,
there was multiple times where we were laughing at things and what just happened. And everything.
So I think if you're looking for just a ridiculous movie, it's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah. But you know what? I think to me though, it's comic book movies in general, like we think about them, they're not great cinematic art pictures. They're not thought-provoking in themselves. And they don't have to be. They can be just fun, fluffy popcorn stuff. And there's good and bad with the way the characters were portrayed compared to, say, a comic book version. So if we really think about it as their own little universe, then just look at how the actors portrayed that character and what was developed in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
What I liked most about it was just the silliness behind it. And as much as I didn't, as a whole, wasn't a huge fan of the use of Black Canary as more of Black Mask's, henchmen.
Oh, yeah.
I liked the portrayal, the actress that played Black Canary.
Yeah, she did a good job.
Especially the fact that, she was a fighter. Mm-hmm. She was kicking.
High kicks and tight pants.
Yep. And, you could see the beginnings of something. So that's why I say if the movie had said, and introducing Birds of Prey, if they needed to put the Birds of Prey title in there.
Yeah.
Same with Huntress.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
You know what? I was most worried about Huntress only because I don't like her costume design. I still don't like her costume design. It just seems kind of sloppy and thrown. In the movie. I like the comic one, but it seems kind of sloppy and thrown together a little bit. It doesn't seem like an outfit, like a costume of some sort. And I guess that's why.
She looks like a Russian mobster.
And it could
tracksuit
develop into that, right? But I was a little bit worried about her character because she was just kind of off the wall. But at the same time, when you realize that she had such a traumatic experience as a child, then was, grew up being trained by assassins, and then you're like, okay, well, then explains why you're a little socially awkward and strange, but
doesn't understand why you raided a thrift store to grab your costume.
Yes, no, not
she
at all.
Had a lot of costumes.
So I was more forgiving. I was surprised on that. I was okay with that, right? So, my other the other worry that I was going into it was how on earth Birds of Prey were working with Harley Quinn. Like, how did this happen, right? And I enjoyed that the story of them coming together was not forced. It was a natural flow of the movie and a weird situation of events that all culminated in them being cornered into a room. And literally the last resort they have is to actually work together. And none of them wanted to work together. Yeah. It was, we're doing this for survival only. We're not doing this because I believe BFFs in your cause or anything like that, And the trailer honestly kind of gave that feeling originally, right? Because so much of it was based on what happens at the last like 20 minutes of the movie when they were actually being together, right? And so I liked that was a nice thing to see that progression where, okay, yeah, they weren't trying to be friends. They weren't trying to, help each other out and girl power type thing with that. It was like, oh, well, crap, we're going to die or work together. So let's put our differences aside and just figure this stuff out right now, right? So I was happy with that.
Yeah. Exactly. It made no sense why Harley was part of the Birds, because if you've read the Birds, you know that they are a superhero team in Gotham.
Well, why I was not okay with Birds of Prey being Birds of Prey. Let me count the ways. Number 1, there was no Oracle.
This one's for you, Adam.
Number 2, there was no Oracle. And number 3, there was no Oracle.
As you can tell, Katie did not quite feel that there was enough Oracle in the movie. Similar to my feeling that there was not enough Batman.
Yeah. You mean we operate in Gotham with none of the Bat family involved?
That was one of the things, like, watching it where I was just like, dude, if that had blown up the Bat, or someone from the Bat family would have swung in.
Okay, it's a total missed opportunity here. Because I loved that the storyline was that Harley was trying to keep this a secret because she knew as soon as she broke up with Mr. J that she wouldn't have the protection. I thought that was fantastic because it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
She no longer had someone that was keeping her safe out of fear with, from people. And it was a missed opportunity for Ace Chemicals blows up. Batman immediately would have known about it. And he would have been there being like, Harley, what have you done? You do realize that now you have a giant target on your back. And he knows that all sorts of, awfulness is going to be happening. And it's going to be I'm putting you in Arkham for your own safety feel, right? And missed opportunities because you can see that, him trying to be that little bit of a coach.
Well, they've had that in the comics before, too, right?
And in the cartoons and everything. And where was that to be like, you totally messed up?
Right.
And
or at the very end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they missed some of those beats for sure. But it's because DC and Warner's don't really know what they're doing, I think, still.
Mm-hmm.
I think, they don't seem to know what they want out of their movies.
Yeah.
And it shows. It still shows. As much as I enjoyed this movie, as much as I still had fun, much as I will probably buy it and watch it because it was silly enough that you could throw on and have a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily leave you saying, where's the next movie and where am I going to go?
Well, because I don't trust that they're going to do another one with Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
And if they do, it'll probably be another origin movie with different characters and different everything.
Actors.
Why do I trust them at all to follow through on this?
Yeah.
It was a miracle that Margot Robbie appeared as 2 Harley Quinns. Like, there's no faith in them of something extra. And you mentioned that earlier today when we were talking about Marvel versus DC. People will go to Marvel movies just because, well, I have to see how it fits into the puzzle.
Yeah.
Or they'll watch a TV show because I have to see how it fits into a puzzle.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not interested, say maybe someone could care less about Thor, but they showed up at the Thor movie and maybe the storyline grew on them because they needed to see how it fit into the big picture. And DC does not have that.
Yeah.
If no one was interested in Harley Quinn or the Birds of Prey, they have no reason to go see this movie at all because, well, why? I don't care about it. And that's the big difference, I think, between Marvel and DC is people will just go to a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
And so I hope DC finds some footing with something because they have the potential if they just put a little bit more faith and think more effort and organization to their game, to their thought process, right? Yeah. Because they can have fun with it. They show that they can have fun with it. And I liked some of there was a few of the fourth wall breaking with it and the mocking of its own thing. And I enjoyed that, the humor from it, and that was fun. So,
yeah.
I loved that Harley had the stuffed beaver.
Now we're not safe for work.
Thanks. It was a stuffed, I don't know.
It was a stuffed beaver.
It was this dead stuffed beaver.
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy, that's the word I was looking for. And that is from the comics. And I think it does a good job in the comics. It always did a good job to me to show that her bit of more psychotic break. You know, after she had broke up with the Joker, she had this weird comfort of her friends. And one of them was the stuffed dead beaver, and it would talk to her, and it was like this weird conscious thing going, you know. And I thought that it was really funny that she had that as well.
Yeah.
And of course, I love that she had a hyena, because that's a throwback to that.
That was.
And so yeah, that I really enjoyed those little nods like that. So I think that's the thing, is that with her, they do a good job of giving the redesign for this character, but nods enough to comics.
Yeah.
I mean, they've even in Suicide Squad, they had the nod to the Jester outfit and some of her classic
Well, and then this
moments.
year, then they had the corset from the Arkham games showed up. Right?
Yeah, so they have all these nods to this of her comic aspect, but they haven't, like, save for the Birds of Prey, they didn't have any of those real nods to anything with it. And I don't trust that they're going to show up again and have the ability to have the nod to it, right? Yeah. So why they have those missed opportunities?
You can't really feel too invested in some of the characters because you don't know. Like, we know Margot Robbie's Harley's coming back for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
Yeah, which I still don't understand that name.
Right. It's because
why is the enough to make it a different title?
Because it's a soft reboot.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I forgot. Of course it is.
But, like, Captain Boomerang is on a wanted poster in this, right?
Yeah.
And she points out, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Right? So...
But some of the action was really fantastic.
Really fun.
I mean, she kicked the crap out of those guys.
A lot of balls.
Yeah. Oh.
A lot of balls got squashed.
She learned well that that's what you do to take out a man. But you know what?
A lot of knees, too.
She wasn't one punching people, but she broke a lot of legs. Yeah.
A lot of knees.
Oh, there were some brutal things. That guy's leg going back and forth.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I really like the action at the end of it, too. And in the, like, House of Mirrors amusement room. In the booby trap. That thing was terrifying facade, though. Holy mo! And then the weird, like, everything about it was creepy. If you were a child that went into that, you'd freaked out. The faces with the giant tongues and the slappy hands. Yeah. The slappy hands were hilarious. But you know what? I really do love Harley Quinn from this movie. The more I think about it, I really do love her I can just do whatever the hell I want attitude. And she's just so... As much as she's lost, she still owns the fact that she's lost, and she's still just her own person with that. And I love the design of it and the way she talks and carries herself. And I love the breaks and where all of a sudden she's a psychiatrist, Harleen. Yeah. Shows up and she gives like some weird advice and then like, okay, let's go kill people. Yeah. And I liked some of the humor breaks, like, you know, when did she have time for a shoe change? And those types of things. An actual line in the movie. Yes. And that's the thing that's funny about it. It's like, because it's true. When did she have a chance to put roller skates on? She has, you know, she's carrying them, so you know they came from somewhere. But they're literally having this massive brawl, and then all of a sudden she's got roller skates on. You know how long it takes to put roller skates on? And then even the Black Canary's fighting, and her hair's getting in her face, and I've always questioned that. Like, I don't even like to do, like, dishes with my hair down. How do people have these massive fights with their hair down? That's why I wear a cowl. Right? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Batman. I appreciate that. So your flowing locks don't go in your face. That's right. And so Black Canary, though, Harley gives her a hair tie to pull her hair back for a little bit. And I thought that was just brilliant. I'm like, yes, finally someone understands that is not helpful. Like, which is why Harley wears pigtails, right? So that helps right there. So the little things like that actually really amuse me. So I'm holding on to those to let go of and trying to let go of the rage of the fact that this is, and again, acceptance. This is never going to be my Birds of Prey. No. It never will. But the way that it was portrayed, I enjoyed the characters. I take it as an Elseworlds. DC is prides itself of its multiverse, so it's just another one of the million multiverses that they have. Yeah. Even though they keep destroying the multiverses and saying there's only like one, and they blah 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 back and forth. So complaint, Cassandra Cain. Oh yeah, that was a waste of the character. That was a shoehorn in. That was using the name just for the sake of using the name. They should have just called her something else that wasn't anything a character-wise. Mm-hmm. She's just a random pickpocket. And I feel sorry for those people that are fans of Cassandra Cain to have, the DC movies have become similar to the Fox X-Men, where you go and you watch
and you have a good time, but you realize there's no continuity. They don't really respect a lot of the characters. You still have a good time, but some of your favorites still kind of just get messed up.
Yeah.
And I know there's people that are not happy. The hashtag not my Cassie Kane is trending.
Did she have any, I don't know really anything about the character other than I didn't assume that this was something really that fit with it originally.
She's a trained assassin.
That's what I thought. Does she have any
Batgirl
history at all?
No.
Okay. I knew she became Batgirl.
Yeah.
And this doesn't seem like she's on anywhere near of a track to become Batgirl.
No, she was like trained in like the League of Assassins.
Okay, so we're going to take this girl from here and somehow mold her into an assassin. I don't see that happening at all. I mean, damn, she's a good pickpocketer for sure. But yeah.
If I had shown up, I would have taken her.
Yeah, you should have taken her away. So I like that Harley and the Birds of Prey split at the end. I was very happy that they weren't just going to hang out and be chummy, that Harley still was Harley and was like, see ya.
Yeah.
I do not like that Cassie went with her.
Yeah, see, that was another thing. It was like,
you know, I think that was a weird direction because
her protege.
My other moment of what the heck is a girl, you know, squad doing with Harley, and it was should not be Birds of Prey, is, you know, who's supposed to help pick her ass up off the floor when she breaks up with Joker is Poison Ivy and Catwoman. So my other gripe is, where are the Gotham City Sirens? Because this is not okay.
It's still listed on her IMDb as coming soon.
It is not supposed to be some 12, 13-year-old girl that helps her get on her feet. It is supposed to be Ivy. And this is not okay. At all. So number 4, it was not the Gotham City Sirens.
See, and that's where, like, say the cartoon that they got is doing a pretty good job.
I'm actually really enjoying the cartoon.
Having Ivy. Ivy's like the star of the show, I think. Ivy and King Shark are the two things that I enjoy the most.
You made an amazing revelation, though. Poison Ivy in that show is like Daria. It's a modern Daria, and it's fabulous. I love it. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God, I love this even more now. This is amazing. So I'm thoroughly surprised with this, right? And I really am enjoying the cartoon. I was afraid we wouldn't like it, right? So
here's a fun fact. This is like completely just random. And I don't understand how television works in this moment here. It's just, you're going to find weird. But so we have Adult Swim Network. It's a whole network for Adult Swim shows.
I remember when that was just 2 hours at night, right? Cartoon Network.
Harley Quinn is on at 6:30 p.m. rated 18A.
Full of swearing.
Full of F-bombs and everything.
Not edited.
Lots of violence. Not edited. Not edited at all. Rick and Morty is on at 9:30 p.m. and is completely edited. Tell me how that makes sense.
Yeah. Because sometimes we watch the Harley Quinn and we're like, oh, damn, there's a lot of F-bombs in this, in this show.
And it's on at 6:30 p.m. Like...
Someone did not schedule this right.
I just find it weird. I'm just like... And I think that's one thing, though, with this movie, because we're seeing that it's not really hitting the box office numbers. Mm-hmm. There was 13 people in our theater. Yeah. Right? Like, it was... For an opening weekend, there was more people in Bad Boys for Life 3 weeks later.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? And that's not necessarily good. But I think the problem is they went for the R. Mm-hmm. But they went for the R in language. And nothing that was in there otherwise really felt that R-rated. Yeah, except for the drug use.
There was, the drug use. There was no sex.
No.
There was drug use and, there was some violence by all means, but we've seen worse violence by all means But yeah, it was definitely language.
The language was, but you look and you see that, they're promoting it to Hot Topic, and it's like your audience is preteen. Yeah. And here's the R-rated movie, and it's like they're making it that difficultness where now you have all these kids paying to see something else and then sneaking in to see this. Yep. Right. So then you're losing.
So then we're losing the box office numbers there, right? So what did you think of Black Mask?
I thought Ewan McGregor was fantastic as a Elseworlds Black Mask.
Good way to describe it. Because he was
fantastic. He was
funny.
creepy. He was horrible. He was
awful.
psychotic.
Human being.
He was just despicable and weird and interesting and egocentric, and it was fantastic to see. And I was able to let go any of my reservations pretty quickly because he was not the Black Mask that I'm used to from the comics. But I was like, how he played it, I was okay with it.
Yeah.
What I'm not okay with, earmuffs, but how quickly he exploded.
Yeah, that was such a waste of a
exploded
bad guy.
Yeah.
Like literally done in a moment.
And that's where Batman should have shown. I could have been there. I should have swooped in and said, Harley, that's enough.
Yeah.
We're done. I'm taking you to Arkham.
Yeah. Taking everyone to Arkham. Like, or you know what? Even if you just shot him and he would have fallen into the water and you thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Like, how do you kill someone like that standing of a bad guy
and never
with
really,
a grenade and just
never
be like,
truly get his true viciousness?
Yeah.
Right. So, but yeah, no, I liked how weird he was. He was very eerie and creepy. He was played the likable villain because he was likable.
Yeah.
But he was just
when he wasn't killing people, you're like, he's I can see how he has that charisma, right?
Yeah.
I liked, that was another one of those ones where Harley broke into psychiatrist mode and was trying to tell him what he was actually doing this for, of, trying to win daddy's approval and those types of things. I thought that was quite funny.
Right. And that's one thing, though, that I wish, because, like, in the comics, the mask he wears is fused to his face. It's carved from the casket of his family.
Yeah,
right?
See, I remember you telling me about him. I'm like, damn, this guy is crazy.
Like he literally tortures people. He almost kills Stephanie Brown, the female Robin that ran there for a while during the City of War run. His toy back in the day came with a hacksaw and a drill. Right? Like, it's not a touchy-feely character, but yeah, he definitely was sort of the...
Well, he definitely was just, he was scary and he would give the rule, But
he didn't get his hands dirty.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't actually, you never saw him really do that much by himself.
Until he smacked Harley.
And I was at first, because based on the trailer with this, when I would see the scene of her in this pink dress type, Marilyn Monroe feel, I was like, what is this? Like, how is this going to play into effect? Because this doesn't look like the club that I assumed was, where you saw Black Canary sing. And I'm like, okay, was she going to be on stage? And this doesn't seem right. So when that started happening, he was smacking her around and she all of a sudden now was on stage and this weird number. I'm like, okay, so she kind of went off into La La Land, and I was a little confused by it at first. And you brought up a wonderful point.
I believe it is her way of hiding from the trauma of Joker's abuse.
Yeah.
She's created a safe little world for herself to be into while she's being abused. And
in that world, she is the star of the show.
Yeah.
She is in control. She is the under the limelight. The abuser was there.
Mm-hmm.
Black Mask was there. He was covered. He was different, but he was not doing anything wrong in this little bubble world. And that, I think, you almost missed that because you didn't see it before. And we never saw it with the Joker.
Yeah.
And because there's no cinematic history of them together to see how abusive he was. You never saw him actually hit her.
Yeah.
And so with this, that was a really interesting way of saying it, though, is then she's constantly needs to be the center of attention in the show. I mean, that's why her and the Joker fit together, but also don't fit together, is because she wants to suddenly not be just the sidelines, you know? And I thought that was a brilliant way to think of that.
Well, I think, too, you have to look at the entire movie and realize that it is being told from someone that has mental instabilities, someone that is coked out of their mind, someone that is drunk, someone that's hungover.
And heartbroken.
Everything about the story that has been told is hearsay.
Well, it's, you know what? I literally, when it started, I thought when she starts telling the story and she says, the Joker, half of his great ideas, I was behind it and he took all the credit. And that kind of irked me at first, because as much as I'm not saying that she would never have a good idea, and that, of course, he would totally have stolen it from her. I 100% agree that he would have. But I also believe that the Joker is a very intelligent mastermind, and he thinks of a lot of his own things, and that was way before Harley was involved. So at first I was just like, seriously, you're trying to steal that from him, and it's trying to be, oh, poor me, you know. But then she turns around, she says this, and then she says, I took the breakup really well. And it shows her crying and screaming about letting back in. And then you realize she's literally showing you that she was lying completely through her teeth. Mm-hmm. So again, it's that perspective of she thought she had a great idea, and maybe she did, maybe she didn't, because it's all in her lens and her view of what she would have done. Yeah. And so I'm like, immediately, oh, okay, that was actually really cool then, because this whole thing could just be a whole bunch of lies.
Yeah, for all we know, none of this actually is the way it went down.
Yeah, we're going to go real existential now.
Like,
my question, if this was all a dream.
Like, I'd almost like be even wondering when like the Suicide Squad drops, and if she's just like in a straitjacket in the thing and being like
some coma somewhere.
Yeah, and they're like, she's been broken ever since the Joker left her or something like that. Like, you know, they literally could do that with it, and you could be like, oh, was that all a dream or wasn't it? Like, you might never know. Or
maybe those birds of prey don't actually exist. Like, maybe she made them all up.
Yeah, they could be.
Maybe they're trying to tell us that with the movie poster. Little tiny creatures floating around her head.
Yeah. What if it's all that?
Maybe it's all that. It's all just little things floating around her head.
Right? Like, there's so many things you could take from that in that direction that you don't even really know.
I think that would be way too smart of a storyline for DC to think of.
Right? It would give a whole new meaning to the movie. And you'd be just like, whoa, be brave.
Yeah.
I will admit, I was pretty excited, though, how happy she was over her sandwich, though. Like,
because I could totally relate to that. Being like super in love, like this is the only thing that matters, and how just it's like they had killed a baby of hers when Montoya killed the sandwich, and I was just like, I totally.
I like you said she killed the sandwich.
She killed it.
She didn't just knock it out of her hand. She killed that sandwich.
It smushed to the ground, man, and exploded. It's the end of the world, man. I totally can relate to that.
But yeah, no. And that's where I think too at the end it should have been. They should have like Batman should have shown up, and she shouldn't have gotten that sandwich at the end.
He should have taken the sandwich from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harley, that's enough. And then he eats it in front of her before he takes it. Damn, Saul makes a good sandwich.
Who's the cruel villain now, right? Because from Harley's perspective, Batman would be that person that eats her child. You know.
Right? Wouldn't that just be the ultimate way of just saying that maybe this all wasn't real, to have Batman show up and eat her sandwich?
Yeah, because you're like, Batman would never do that.
Right.
See, this is, again, in her mystical world, Batman wouldn't show up because she wouldn't want Batman to show up.
Right? Because
this is him doing something he shouldn't be doing. He would have showed up.
She was still the star of the show by the end of it, right?
Yeah. And so this is what we've decided. This is all a dream. It was all a dream of a completely heartbroken, maybe catatonic state Harley Quinn, who, you know, she never left the drug-infused party.
Yes.
At the club.
At the club.
Yep.
And then she's going to wake up and everyone's still alive.
Black Canary never saved her from the van, and God knows where she is.
Oh, gosh. That got dark.
It got twisty.
You got into human sex trafficking. But that was a cool scene, though, when Black Canary... But that was kind of bugging me, though, because I was like, you know, Black Canary would never just let another woman get taken into sex trafficking. Like, it was really bothering me. I know.
I'm like, when are you going to move?
You know, and then when she went in there and she beat those guys up, and I was like, yes, this is the Canary, right? You
know, it was a weird minor complaint, because she totally kicked ass, which was fantastic. Fantastic is the word I'm looking for. I really like that, because she obviously knew what she was doing. It wasn't just a random, you know, I'm trying to protect someone. Right? Yeah. But I kind of wish she had a little bit more of a boxing stance. I don't know why that the kicks were fantastic.
destroyed dudes with those kicks.
I know,
those
though.
legs
So it's
were
like
lethal weapons.
I think I'm just saying that because that's what I was thinking throughout it, and then like I thought
because she's always been
like,
shown more as a
boxer,
because a wildcat, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for Wildcat to show up a little bit more feel, right, where it's like a little bit more punches thrown. If she had just clocked a guy a few times, it would have been we're good. I needed her to one punch someone. Just needs to happen.
Just a
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's when Batman shows up.
Yeah.
And one punches guys. That's his thing.
Yeah. So crossbow lady.
Hammers of justice.
Crossbow lady here. I thought it was quite funny how upset she was with people in her nickname and how like awkward she was about it. Yes. And it's like I need to just stand up for what I am, but you know, yeah, it was quite funny with that.
Well, yeah, it was cool to see because you are right. If she never had real social experience, so she's in this thing and she's making her way through her hit list, and you know,
it's like, oh crap, I have to talk to people while I'm doing this too.
Yeah,
like,
and so yeah, I would be okay with seeing. So Warner Brothers and DC, please listen to our podcast and make a Birds of Prey movie that has Huntress and Canary in it, and yes,
Oracle. You knew that was happening.
Can't have Oracle without Batgirl, and we're not having Batgirl get shot.
So then maybe we just don't make a Birds of Prey movie because we can't do it right. Sorry. Cup of rage happened there for a moment. What about Zaz? What did you think of him?
Just like they treated him in the Nolan verse, they didn't really give him anything to do, and it wasn't in character.
Yeah.
They just tossed him in there just for the sake of
Why couldn't it have just been some other lieutenant, basically?
Yeah. Name drop. It was just...
Yeah.
That's one of those other ones that they were just like, we're just gonna do this.
Did they pick random times to have to like actually put like care into the comic aspect of the thing? It's like, can't you like drop the worry about naming this person something and give the other person a costume that has some color scheme?
At the same time, like Zaz really should just be like Batman movies should be like the James Bond of the DC universe, where like it opens up with him taking down someone that it's a really cool action scene and the character has some merit that he's taking down, but not enough to carry an entire movie.
But it's not Penguin or the Joker or Riddler, right?
So the idea that Zaz, the guy goes around killing people and cuts himself for every time he kills someone, that's a great James Bond opening of Batman swooping in.
Because you don't need a backstory behind the guy who's killing someone. It's like, oh yeah, he's scary. He's all cut up. Yeah. He's murdering this person. We're good. We understand that Batman needs to take him down.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the kind of villain
End of story.
Right? Killer Croc's kind of the same way for me.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's just a really badass scene that you get in before you play the title card.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But at the same time, the idea of the way they used him, they're trying to make him too much of a character that's not his character, right?
Yeah.
And like the changing kind of thing like that. But as I said before, I'm viewing it through the Elseworlds lens and trying to just be like, see it for what it is, right?
Yeah.
But it's a hard movie because there's a lot of good. There was a lot of fun. Like everything with Harley Quinn was like just fun, and I was in the zone and I was laughing and I was having a good time.
Yeah.
And then the comic accuracy side of things, it was just like nails on a chalkboard sometimes where you're like, but that's not really how it should be.
Yeah.
Right. But then at the same time,
there was so much missing, which gives depth to the story, and then it just, they're trying to almost cheap out on it. Right. Mm-hmm. And it just it's missing out on soul, man.
Yeah.
Gotham is missing its soul.
Yeah.
Gotham, by the way, has some really scary, broken down, seedy parts of town that need to be destroyed.
Amusement Mile, Founders Pier.
I mean, oh my goodness. If only they had a billionaire that cared about the city. If only.
And that there lies the problem, though, is that they don't even have a real Batman right now because Affleck isn't in the picture and Pattinson's, they've just started filming.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, they just can't get their stuff together to create that cohesive story of that. You're like, oh, because they acknowledge that Bruce Wayne is in this universe. Yes. They acknowledge the Suicide Squad happened, meaning that
Affleck's Batman was there.
Existed. So then in turn, why can't it still happen?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a little mind blown at like, I think I've gotten to that point where I think that's why Marvel's so successful, is that they created a formula, and maybe not all the movies are the best, but they created a formula and people go see those movies. It's like fast food, right? And Warner Brothers decided to say that we're so much different and we don't want to be like the McDonald's module, right? But instead of saying like them becoming, you know, Jack in the Box or Burger King, taking the same module but just saying we're gonna make it better, they decided to like,
we're gonna go live in a food court.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hop around, and you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're like that place in the food court that always disappears.
There was a place in the food court back down in Nevada there that would, every time we'd go to the mall, it was like
every month.
The random, we're like, what restaurant is going to show up in that spot now? Like, no matter what was there, it was never successful for very long.
Yeah.
When it was there for a few months, we're like, damn, they're doing like really good.
Yeah. Like, wow, they made it 3 months. And then you go back next time and it'd be like a ice cream shop suddenly.
Yeah, it was so weird.
But yeah, that's exactly, they don't want to try to like take that tried, tested, and true module, because they don't want to be seen as like, well, we're copying it.
Yeah.
And trying to make it work for their universe and make it better. They're just kind of like,
it's like, you do realize you're both comic book movies, like, worlds, right?
You do realize that you
make
anyways.
Superheroes anyway, and you guys seem to mirror. When one does a crisis event, the other does a crisis event.
Yeah, in the funny books there. So
you said funny books.
I know.
That's
I was
fantastic.
trying to be original.
Funny pages
in the floppies.
You said floppy.
But yeah, you know, like that's the thing, is that, you know, they're not coming up with the
well, they're wanting so badly to be stubborn enough to be original that they're literally shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah. And
again, there's so much potential. They had fun, you know, I can take the originality. That can be fun, but make it original and then make a plan with it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have, that's how you could be different. Make it a gigantic Elseworlds tale. Fine. It doesn't have to be exactly coming out of the pages of the comic books. That's okay. But then make the plan that, okay, we have a Batman, we have a Superman, we have a Wonder Woman. You know, pick your core people. We're going to continue using them. And if for some reason that actor or actress doesn't work out, we're going to recast them, and we're just going to keep moving on.
Yeah, not just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, find a Joker, find some of those key characters for things so you can at least have that world.
You know what I thought was hilarious is how much the Joker in this didn't look like Leto's Joker. It looked like a classic comic Joker.
Yeah, every single time.
You know, anything showed up, it was
like the picture on her bullseye was a classic, you know, green and purple suit type thing, and yeah, and the animation that was in it, and when you saw, and yeah, it's just funny that and then that's that idea too, where they allowed too much creativity when Ayer was making Squad, and they were just like, sure, yeah, do what you want, and now it's come back to bite them in the butt, because parts of that people liked. Yeah. And they're trying to make that work. Yeah. You know, so it's going to be really interesting. Like, I don't envy James Gunn. No,
with the
he's got a hard path ahead of him right there.
I'm sure he's going to make a great movie, but it's going to be interesting to see, because the fact of having to make, you know, because they still got Waller's going to be back, Captain Boomerang's back, Flag's supposed to be back. And then Quinn, right?
I don't know how they're going to be able to market this so that people really want to come back, because they either liked Suicide Squad and they're not going to be happy that it's a reboot, soft reboot, or they didn't like Suicide Squad
and they hate it with a passion.
Yeah, and they're not going to give this the time of day. Yeah. So who's your audience? Who are you really going to be talking to? Like, I don't know. It's going to be interesting, right?
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go. You know, like. Margot Robbie still has on her IMDb that there's supposed to still be a Mad Love movie. Again. And Gotham City Sirens as well.
So Gotham City Sirens, they could have the opportunity of doing that now, because by all means, she is not on her feet. No. She's still broken, and she wants to say that maybe she has declared to the world that she's free, but can she really survive by herself and thrive is a whole nother story, right? So she could still end up with the siren.
And they
hinted
hinted at her being like bisexual.
Yeah.
With the falling in love thing a few times, like you know, so at least it's not in the realm of unknown.
Yeah. But you know what? Overall, I was pleasantly
It's funny. We rag on this thing, but I actually had a really good time watching it.
Yeah, and because the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, I really like this, and I really like this.
Like the whole scene.
Okay, I can tell. Oh no, go ahead. Your scene.
Well, the whole scene in going to the cop shop there, where you know, she was shooting off that grenade launcher thing, and like the glitter and the smoke. It was just a slick, cool looking scene, right? And yeah. You know, I really like Canary. I was really scared. I just wish that she would look a little bit more like her comic counterpart. Yeah. Like costume wise. And it would have been fine. I'm not talking about hair or skin color. No. I'm talking like the leather jacket with the bird.
Well, you know what? It would have been cool if it was fine when she was working. Yeah. Because she wasn't doing anything with Birds of Prey type thing. If at the end when they had the whole, you know, costume box of Harley's stuff, if something had been pulled out from there and then she would have kept something, but then they missed the opportunity completely.
Or even at the very end when they said that they created this little thing called the Goody Two-Shoes Birds of Prey.
That's what I'm saying is like at the end then that was the point where if none of those other things made sense at the end, something should have been more of a nod. Yeah. And you missed that opportunity. Because Huntress was a little had the mask. A little less tracksuit.
And the tracksuit had the white and the purple line. Yes. Right. So it was a little bit more like pushed towards it. So yeah, you know.
But yeah, that was a missed opportunity for sure with that one, right?
She was just in like a velour jumper. Yeah. Which was strange.
But no, I really did like her for sure. Yeah. She did a good job, I think.
And I liked Huntress. She was a cool character. So I hope we see more of that. Like, you know, like I think I've got this like hope that we're just going to continue to see more and they'll find their footing and it's just going to get good. Right?
And I can tell that I enjoyed the movie more than I originally intended because I'm like, well, damn it. I don't know what I can buy for merch. Because I was looking at Hot Topic yesterday and I was really sad that none of the clothing actually grabbed my attention. I would totally have bought the Harley Quinn shirt that they have at Hot Topic. It's white just as Harley Quinn and it's the same as like a costume shirt from what the movie is, right?
Oh, this is Harley.
Yeah, Harley Quinn over it. And so it's a fun.
Did it have the F-bomb on it? Because her shirt.
I didn't look clear enough on it. Okay. If it did, then I couldn't buy it because I just in good conscience shouldn't buy that.
It shouldn't though.
But I don't trust myself wearing white too much. So if it had color like sparkles on it, I could have considered it more. But it was too boring for what it really was. And then everything else was just too basic. And I'm not going to wear 20 million rings. It's just not the real world scenario that I live in. So I was sad that there wasn't merch that I could buy. But I have to find a pop because I have every version of Pop from the Suicide Squad. Yeah. And I have 50 million. Like every version of Harley Quinn that I could. So I need at least a few versions from this one, apparently. So
I'd be curious to see. Well, see, the thing we were looking at today was that the gold jumper is a Hot Topic exclusive. Yes. And that's like her main at the end of the movie there. So
yeah. And I love that there is a pop that actually has her with the sandwich. I think that is hilarious. And the one shoe and everything, like right after she blows up Ace Chemicals, right? So I think that was great.
But there's the one that comes with the beaver.
Yeah, then that's the standard one. Then the shorts and the t-shirt, right? So those two would make sense. And then there's a completely strung out one at the
party one. That one's a little gross, I think. Yeah. And well, there's also
because she's just super trashy.
The jammies and the hyena. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But that's a box lunch. Yeah. So
that's a missed opportunity right there. Is to sell the giant onesie. Like, oh my goodness, right? That'd be like every girl's dream. You break up with your boyfriend, you're gonna wear this giant pink onesie thing, and you know. So, but yeah, you know what? And the more I think about it, like I've processed it a lot and there's things that I'm still upset about, but overall for what it was, I was really pleasantly surprised and I am very happy with it. So.
I still had fun with it. It was still a ridiculous movie. Yeah. It's one of those ones where I think at the end of the day, you put on for a laugh and you know, just laugh.
Yeah. And then we'll just, when we watch it next, we can have Batman like Mystery Science Theater and be like, I would have shown up there. I was watching from up there, but I decided I would let them take care of it.
Don't worry, I was there the entire time.
Yes, of course you were. You weren't in the cave with the cat, right?
No.
Not at all.
I was studying for the next Suicide Squad movie. I was taking notes for the Batman.
Ah, yes, there we go. The Batman, the Suicide Squad.
Wonder Woman 3 will be the Wonder Woman.
Yep. See, that's how.
Aquaman 2, the Aquaman.
The Aquaman. Right? Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, Mike, I think we're done.
That's right, we are. So,
Look at that.
I am darkness. I am vengeance. I am going to bed.
Real quick, what do we have next? What's coming up now?
Oh, we're going to Fan Expo.
Next weekend is Fan Expo.
That's right. Come back next week and we'll talk about everything we saw, learned, and did at Vancouver Fan Expo 2020.
Because we bought photo op tickets for.
That's right. My wife was nice enough for Valentine's Day to get me 2 minutes with the man.
Yeah.
Hail to the king, baby. Yeah. Bruce Campbell. Give me some sugar. It's going to be groovy.
I'll stay out of the way so no one hits on me.
Yeah, I'll get in there. I'll be like,
no, it's all about him.
The chin, baby. The chin. Using me, gonna have a photo. So yeah, Valentine's Day, I get 2 minutes with the man.
Yeah.
And the man.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm gonna get him to sign it, hopefully.
That's the plan. It's gonna be super fun.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
We'll talk about that next week. So, as always, stay rad, dudes.
Thanks for joining us and have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Want more rad content? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review.
And remember, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes!